Before presenting the Central Project Office, Oficina de Proyecto Central, OPC, for its Spanish acronym, of the City Council of Montevideo, Intendencia de Montevideo in Spanish, we would like to thank the PMO Global Alliance for allowing us to participate, and to all those involved in the PMO Global Awards, the people behind the project, the members of the board and the committee, as well as the sponsors of the event. We would like to clarify that, since the concept used by the Uruguayan public administration may differ from the concept used at a business level, we will use business terminology. As an example, we will refer to the mayor, Intendente in Spanish, of the City Council of Montevideo as the CEO of the organization, or the government as the board of directors. The city of Montevideo is the capital of the Western Republic of Uruguay, which is a small country located in South America between two large countries, Brazil and Argentina. More than 1.5 million people live and work in Montevideo, which is more than half of the population of Uruguay. Uruguay is divided politically in 19 counties. The City Council of Montevideo, CCM, governs the county of Montevideo. That is, the city of Montevideo and other urban, suburban, and rural areas. Currently, more than 8,200 people work in the City Council, among employees and hired staff. The county government is responsible for tasks such as land planning, mobility and road infrastructure of the county, sanitation, waste collection and management, creation and management of public spaces, actions focused on social integration and coexistence of citizens. It is also responsible for some public services, such as first-level polyclinics and cemeteries. To cover this whole spectrum of activities and services, the county government is structured into 15 departments and consultancies, which in turn contain divisions, management, services, and units. The county government coordinates the decentralization process in municipalities as the second level of government, which, although they have an independent budget and their governors are also independently elected, do so within the strategic definitions of the county government. That said, the first level of the organizational structure is distributed among the following departments: culture, environmental development, including cleaning and sanitation services, economic development, social development, sustainable and intelligent development, which is mainly responsible for the technology and information system, urban development, human management and material resources, mobility, including road, transit and transport, planning, involving land use planning and strategic planning and institutional resilience, financial resources, general secretariat, municipal development and participation advisory, legal advice, gender equality consulting, and general accountant. The governors are elected every 5 years, and in the first year, the budget for that period is defined. The current government has allocated a budget of $350 million for the period of 2016-2020, which represent a 0.7% of the national GDP. This budget covers operational and investment tasks. These characteristics, both in terms of the number of staff and the budget it managed, make the City Council of Montevideo one of the largest organizations in the country. Its organizational structure is rigidly pyramidal, markedly divided into silos, and most communication takes place through and between the general directors of each department, except for the informal relations generated between employees who seek to streamline bureaucracy. The government that was appointed in 2016 established among its strategic policies to prioritize investment in its budget and to seek through projects to generate a qualitative and quantitative improvement in the city, focusing on the benefits of its inhabitants. Given the structure of the organization, it was proposed to generate a cultural change through the implementation of the following pillars: transversality, project management, transparency, and governance. In order to implement this plan, one of the first decisions taken by the Mayor of Montevideo was to create, in August 2016, an office that would report directly to the Mayor, which he called the Oficina de Gestión de Proyectos Estratégicos, OGPE, Strategic Project Management Office in English, which was initially integrated by 3 professionals. It was then defined that the OGPE will be in charge of the management of projects of significant importance for the CCM, which will be defined by the Mayor of Montevideo. It will be a transversal management of all projects involved and with a global vision, following the strategic planning of the county government. In the first instance, it will start with the management of the project included in the Capital Fund, a financial trust, with the vision of including the rest of the projects indicated above. And the assigned duties were to develop the necessary methodology so that each project has the tools that allow an efficient management, to promote the efficient and effective management of the projects involved so that the scope, deadlines, and budget specified in the management documents are met, as well as other goals that are specifically defined. To develop a transversal approach among the different divisions of the City Council of Montevideo to optimize resources and avoid inefficiencies. To keep the Mayor of Montevideo, the directors of the departments and divisions involved, and other agents interested in the implementation of the project informed of the progress and risk involved, to take the appropriate decisions for the proper implementation. Given the high impact generated by the OGPE and to enhance it, 1 year later, in August 2017, the office was transformed into the Unidad de Gestión de Proyectos Estratégicos, UGPE, Strategic Project Management Unit in English, reporting to the General Director of the Planning Department. This department provides a cross-cutting vision for the entire organization on corporate strategic planning. The new UGPE maintained its initial objectives, increased the number of projects of influence from 6 to 42, and was assigned 3 new members. In the mission entrusted to the UGPE to extend the project management to the entire City Council of Montevideo, it was necessary to survey the level of maturity of the institution, which would serve as a basis for the design of a project office for the City Council of Montevideo. Thus, through an agreement with the United Nations Office of Project and Service, UNOPS, at the end of 2017, this diagnosis and maturity assessments of the City Council of Montevideo was carried out based on the P3M3 standard, to take it as the basis for the design of a PMO. In this maturity study, it was determined that the maturity levels of the institution was level 1 and some units were level 2. As a result of this study, a series of actions were taken. In September 2018, an organizational improvement plan for project management, program, and portfolio was designed. In November 2018, the design and implementation plan for the central PMO was prepared. In February 2019, by resolution of the Mayor, the coordinated system of project offices was created, comprising the Oficina de Proyectos Central, OPC, Central Project Office in English, formerly the UGPE, and the project offices of the Departments of Sustainable and Intelligent Development, Mobility and Environmental Development, as well as the project offices of the various units created after this resolution. In March 2019, by resolution of the Mayor, the Portfolio Committee was constituted, composed by the General Secretary and the General Directors of the Financial Resources and Planning Departments. In March 2019, the Project Office of the Departments of Urban Development was established. Having explained the path that led us to the OPC, we will now describe the greatest achievements of this group of professionals, which is to effectively provide the organization with a central PMO and a project office coordination system. In addition to maintaining the tasks defined to date, the founding purpose of the OPC is to centralize and execute the set of services required aimed at implementing best practices related to portfolio management, program, and projects of the City Council. The PMO value ring methodology was used to define the functions of the OPC, assisted by UNOPS, United Nations Office of Project and Service, to support this new organizational and cultural change. The results of all this effort, together with the achievement made, such as institutional and cultural changes, and the learning of new improvement processes, call us to introduce ourselves to this competition and provide information on the current situation of the Central Project Office. Our mission was defined to increase project management capacity in a coordinated way within the CCM in terms of process, tools, and resources, to improve the definitions and performance of the project portfolio and contribute to the achievement of the strategic guidelines of the CCM. And the defined values that characterize this office are excellency, teamwork, transparency, and proactivity. Our team today consists of 6 professionals and a secretary, who have experience and training in project management and have been certified as PMP and PMO-CP. The director of the OPC is Engineer José Luis Franzini, and the members of the OPC are Architect Rosario Antiga, Technician María Laura Techería, Engineer Lucas Lebrini, Engineer Adriana Herrera, Engineer Leonardo Sproca, and the Secretary José Carlos López. In this process, the achievements are the Integrated System of Project Offices, ISPO, Sistema Integrado de Oficinas de Proyectos, SIOP in Spanish, was implemented, which is transversally configured by the Central Project Office. The other project offices are federated and are part of the Departments of Sustainable and Intelligent Development, Mobility, Environmental Development, and Urban Development. An environment of coordination of this integrated system of project offices was implemented, based mainly on bi-weekly coordination meetings between the leaders of each office. A portfolio of City Council projects was developed, and these were classified and prioritized according to levels of relevance. Another achievement was the creation and implementation of an Initiative Maturity Cycle, IMC, Ciclo de Maduración de Iniciativas, CMI in Spanish, which consists of 8 phases and 8 control points, which ensure the maturation of the initiative from the emergence of the idea to the measurement of benefits. In this cycle, the different levels of governance are also being defined. In the following manner, the Portfolio Committee was established to manage the City Council's portfolio. It defines a hierarchy of projects according to relevance 1, 2, and 3, monitors the portfolio, and is responsible for approving changes in phases at the control points. 2 indicator dashboards were designed, one for monitoring the City Council's portfolio and the other for monitoring and controlling the projects. A communication plan is also being implemented to provide information on the definitions of the integrated system of project offices and to promote the maturation cycle of initiatives, along with other aspects related to implementation. A training plan has been established for staff members. A process of certification of managerial and technical competencies for project management is being developed, as to have, in the course of this year, approximately 60 certified project managers. It is worth specifying that all of these achievements have been formalized institutionally. Having identified the main achievements, the 5 main objectives defined for the Central Project Office are: firstly, to implement the integrated system of project offices; secondly, to define and implement a project management methodology for the CCM, based on the standards published by the Project Management Institute; PMI. Third, to guarantee 100% adequate documentation of the strategic projects of the CCM, including the modifications to the work plan in the framework of the best practices in project management. And fourthly and fifthly, to ensure that 80% of the project managed by the project office comply with the schedule set up in the project plan, and that 80% of the project managed by the project office comply with the budget set up in the project plan. These defined objectives cover a wide spectrum of clients: the Mayor of Montevideo, main CEO, General Directors of departments, CEO of the departments, CCM Portfolio Committee, Departmental Board of Montevideo, Council's legislative body, project management committees, project managers, project offices from the PMO system, project managers in departments that do not have PMOs, departments without PMOs, and Planning and Budgetary Execution Division. In order to deliver value to the organization and serve customers, the OPC delivers services through 8 functions, which were defined in the process conducted with the PMO Value Ring methodology. These functions are: support the definition of the City Council's project portfolio, provide strategic control board for Relevance 1 projects, monitor the performance of Relevance 1 projects, promote project management in the organization, provide tools and information system for project management, provide mature cycle of initiatives, provide training and competence development for projects, and support projects in departments without a project office. And to keep in line with the benefits we deliver to the organization, indicators were defined for each function, in which it is mainly measured: service availability, performance, level of customer satisfaction. Since it is through the functions that we provide benefits to the organization, and noting that each function has a defined process and its corresponding indicators, we will describe the functions, their objectives, the achievement reached for each one of them, and the actions that we continue to perform. Function number 1 is to support the definition of the City Council's project portfolio. The defined objective is to support the selection, prioritization, and communication process of the City Council's project portfolio, ensuring its alignment with the strategy. To achieve these objectives, several actions were implemented. A survey was conducted with each department to identify the projects that were being executed and projects that were about to start or were in the process of being created. These projects were listed and ranked according to level of the impact of the initiative with the strategic guidelines, number of departments involved, and estimated budget value. A portfolio committee was established as governance of the project portfolio, which meets bi-monthly. At the first meeting of the portfolio committee, the project portfolio was approved. The OPC provides the service of reporting on portfolio updates, displaying indicators on the portfolio monitoring panel, and making pertinent observations. Another fundamental service is to process and present new project initiatives that seek to be included in the portfolio. The OPC refers to a hierarchical project portfolio to the acquisition management so that this department can set priorities in its procedures. To provide a strategic control board for Relevance 1 projects is function number 2. The defined objective is to provide a control panel for the senior management, which allows for the availability of updated and accessible information for the control of compliance with the benefits of the projects or strategic initiatives, also called projects or initiatives of the Relevance 1 of the City Council of Montevideo, based on measurement criteria and translated into indicators that allow for the control of efficiency and effectiveness in the compliance of these. This function also provides the strategic control panel for Relevance 1 projects, which are the projects or initiatives in the portfolio prioritized as the most relevant and monitored by the OPC through function number 3. Data obtained from the project through function number 3 are processed and displayed in the Relevance 1 project control panel, where the following indicators are shown. compliance of milestones, deviation from the end date, deviation of the end date of the construction work within the execution phase, percentage of project process compared to the plan, variation of the budget, variation in the construction budget. This panel is periodically presented to the Cabinet of the City Council of Montevideo, which is formed by the mayor and the general directors of each department. Currently, the dashboards are generated manually in Excel through the monthly reports. Function number 3, mentioned above, refers to monitoring the performance of Relevance 1 projects. Its objective is to control the performance of the portfolio, monitoring the progress and results of the projects of Relevance 1 of the City Council. The main means of achieving this objective is through monthly reports created in Excel, and they are how project managers inform the OPC of the status of their project. Each member of the OPC is assigned a group of projects, so each one is in constant contact with the project managers and can verify the quality of the reports and in accordance with monitoring the status of the project. In parallel to governance and to continue working following our purpose, function number 4 was created to promote project management in the organization. The objective is to promote the culture of project management in the organization, to increase maturity and support the creation of a systematized execution capacity to implement the transformation initiatives required by the organizational strategy of the City Council. The main key tool used for this purpose is communication, and together with the City Council's institutional communication staff, work is being initiated on the creation of a communication plan. The means of communication used are brochures, news through the CCM intranet, mailing, and meetings. Complementing the previous duties, it was defined that the OPC should provide integrated tools and information systems for the project management. Therefore, function number 5 was defined. This function gathered the efforts made to achieve the objective of automating the process of data collection and delivery of indicators. At the institutional level and for the monitoring of the initiatives and projects, the SIGES tool, Software Integrado de Gestión Estratégica, Integrated Strategic Management Software in English, was adopted, which is an open-source platform provided by the Agencia de Gobierno Electrónico y Sociedad de la Información y del Conocimiento, AGESIC, Agency of Electronic Government and Information and Knowledge Society in English, an executive unit dependent on the Presidency of the Republic, and which allows supervising the planning and execution of a set of initiatives, portfolio, that the organization decides to control through data such as the deviation in schedules, budgets, risk, and other indicators. These make possible dynamic monitoring, greater certainty of the information, and better processing of the data to generate the indicators and feed the commented platform from function number 2. In the process of improvements and evolution of the tool, the alignment of the IMC methodology to the SIGES platform was implemented, turning it into SIGESIM, a software solution tailored to the needs of the organization, which in addition to centralizing information and being a source of data for management improvement, it is a great ally in the promotion and implementation for the initiative maturation cycle methodology. On the other hand, and focus on a model of innovation and efficiency, is that the platform called Portfolio and Reservoir Management System, which constitute a central part of a management ecosystem in which SIGESIM is included. The portfolio management is understood as the process, the path from the stage of selection of initiatives, evaluation by the portfolio committee, and subsequent monitoring, while the reservoir aims to provide the functionality that allows the search and access to information on initiatives that were discharged during the cycle, which failed to be approved by the portfolio committee, or closed and completed successfully. The interoperability between both platforms will allow the systematic and integral management of the CCM project portfolio from the moment an idea or initiative is conceived until it becomes a project and goes through its entire development cycle. Finally, through the use of data analysis tools, all the information generated by these platforms will be processed intelligently and efficiently to obtain valuable information for the organization, which is reflected in the control panels already indicated in function number 2. To maintain the governance and the system of information gathering and delivery to ensure the correct monitoring of projects, programs, and portfolio, function number 6 was created to provide a methodological standard that generates a common language through the organization and that allows the generation of efficiency during the management of the portfolio and the execution of the projects. The methodology established in the initiative maturation cycle was implemented, which applies to all of the organization's projects. This cycle consists of 8 phases and 8 control points. The first 3 phases are to clearly define the benefits pursued with the proposed idea and to reduce the uncertainty to an acceptable level. At these verification points, the portfolio committee verifies that the requirements of each phase have been met. Once the P2 verification point is approved, the initiative is considered to be a project and the required budget for the next phase is allocated. The phases that the project goes through are start and initial plan, detail design, execution, completion, and transfer. Once the project is completed and the product is in service, there is a phase that measures the benefits obtained. The verification points from P3 to P7 are evaluated by the management committee assigned to each project. The OPC and the other project offices, following the integrated project office system, oversee the correct fulfillment of the initiative maturation cycle. Although the employees of the City Council of Montevideo are experienced in handling and managing projects, in implementing them, and in meeting the expectations of the sponsors, they are not familiar with the methodological management of projects, with a common approach to all of them, and in a format that responds to a single line of governance. Improving project management culture is part of our purpose. Therefore, to continue with the organizational change, a 7th function was defined in order to provide training and competency development, the objective of which is to define a plan for the development of competencies related to project management and to coordinate training activities within the City Council that support this plan. In this sense, and together with other units of the City Council, these are being developed and implemented. An internal certification of project managers' competences and training courses in project management for different employees interested in being able to access the role of project manager or to be part of a project team. We also continue to design and conduct workshops to improve the skills and knowledge of the project managers and their teams. Some examples are risk management, stakeholder management, formulation of initiatives, course for the use of SIGES, course for the understanding of the IMC, lessons learned workshops, and project management for senior management. Considering that it is necessary to generate and expand this methodology to all of the departments of the City Council, function number 8 was developed to support projects in departments that do not have a project office. Therefore, the defined objective is to support project managers in various specialized tasks, such as planning, monitoring, control, or support in the implementation of the project management methodology in departments that do not have PMOs and that require support from the central project office. This function is carried out on demand or in case it is found that projects of relevance 2 or relevance 3 are not complying with the initiative maturation cycle. Beyond our functions and generation of community within the organization, we participate in the Project Office Community of Uruguay, promoted by the Project Office of AGESIC. Currently, the community has focused on generating events for the community dedicated to project management and to generate best practice content to share. This team is proud of the cultural change it is generating in a public institution with more than half of a century of formation, with a deep-rooted vertical organizational structure that has been maintained throughout its history. Beyond the achievements obtained, which were exposed throughout this exhibition, this group of professionals strongly believes that it is part of the team's DNA to constantly seek to generate value for the organization. The process of this team, from its creation to the cultural transformation achieved in the organization, has resulted in the following benefits. An organization that knows with its resources are focused, a cabinet that is aware of the status of projects, deviation, and ongoing risk, the existence of centralized governance for projects along with the benefits this brings, a culture of patronage throughout the portfolio committee and the management committees, defined and repeatable procedures, the generation of the concept of initiative and project, integrating the cycle of maturation of initiatives to the institution, and the formation of professionals in project management. As we aim to continue growing and working on generating value and in the search for greater and more profitable benefits, we have set the following short-term objectives. To provide other PMOs with features that meet the needs of their customers and stakeholders. For this, we will encourage them to also use the PMO Value Ring methodology in their training. In order to improve sponsorship, the profile and competencies of the project sponsors are being defined to generate courses or workshops. This will be for political and non-political directors. It is our perception that the degree of maturity of the organization has improved, so we will perform another process to measure the maturity of the organization. To expand the methodology with the purpose of generating a culture of program management. To continue with the training of project managers and with the certification of competencies. To encourage the change of the budget allocation by silos or large packages at the discretion of each department, to an allocation that differentiates the funds allocated to operations from those allocated to investments, and that the budget allocation of investments is through projects. Automation of the reporting system and feeding to the control panels, as well as the computerized reporting resources. Review the services provided by the OPC, reevaluating their function with PMO Value Ring. Improve current training and create new workshops or courses in the areas that have not yet been developed. Deepen the use of risk management. Implementing project management to reinforce strategic planning. To actively participate in the PMO community in Uruguay, and to design and implement service to evaluate our functions to continuously improve our service portfolio, such as feedback and constant optimization. Once again, we would like to express our gratitude for the opportunity to present ourselves and the new PMO of the City Council of Montevideo, the Oficina de Proyectos Central, OPC. It is a pleasure to be a part of it so we can continue to grow, learn, and improve. We are grateful to have the possibility of obtaining advice from professionals in the field who give us a vision of how we're doing. We acknowledge that we can learn directly from the experience of other professionals working in other project management offices. Last but not least, we would like to share some words from Santiago Posteguillo, which summarizes his project management office spirit. Whoever has done enough important things is aware that they could have done them better and that they have made many mistakes that they could have avoided. Only the proud and unredeemed believe that they would do everything the same again. Thank you very much.